today we're jumping right back into an Epic Universe podcast.
Awesome.
Believe it or not, that's what everybody cares about.
Yeah, I can understand why. I also feel like every other commercial, like on television now, seems to be like Epic Universe. Like, I'm walking through the house.
They're like, "Have you heard?"
Yeah, there's like a new portal. I'm like, oh, this is new commercial. So yes.
I know the marketing. I gotta hand it to them. I was like walking down the grogrocery aisle the other day, and I was like seeing Epic Universe signs on like bags of chips. I was like, "What's going on?"
It's like are they collaborating with Doritos?
I was like, "Geez, all right, well." Yes, I've heard the news. I'm excited. Give me a preview. No, in all seriousness, obviously everybody's talking about Epic Universe right now. Epic Universe is officially opening May 22nd, 2025. We are in the midst of the first team member previews. They just started this past week.
Wow.
In the next few weeks, we're doing team member previews with guests. There might be potential for me to go to one of those, FYI, but just so everybody knows, if I go to one, they're very strict about no photos, no videos. In fact, I'm impressed with the team members so far because nothing has really leaked in terms of actual photos and videos on the ground. They've been very strict about it. I'm pretty sure they probably made them sign waivers that's like, hey, you will lose everything to your name.
Yes. It's like, you might as well leave your phone at the front door, or this will be your first and last time at Epic Universe.
Do you want to wake up tomorrow? It's like, but I mean, whatever they're doing, it's working because a lot of reactions have come out, which are totally fine. We're going to be talking about that. It's basically what today's episode is about, is like the initial reactions, the conversations, what team members have been saying about it. And then you and I can have a conversation again about what we're excited for, what if our excitement levels have changed based on the initial reactions, things like that. But yeah, it's very exciting, and it's been fun to scroll through Twitter specifically, or X, whatever you want to call it, and just read people's like team members' initial reactions. Because man, we're like finally here where people are actually like talking about it. It's no longer an idea; people have been. Which is really cool.
Yeah, people have actually. I've seen some of the drone shots online too, where people are on the coasters. It's just one of those moments that. I mean, we've been waiting on this for, 5 years at least?
Yeah.
I know it was pre-COVID. I know COVID slowed it down a little bit. So I think that excitement, I think most people feel it. And now, like, it's always been like this idea. It's one of those things, like this idea, this rendering, all these different things that you see. But then to actually see it come to life so quickly within this last year, just seeing the parks or seeing the rides actually running with nobody on, didn't seem like that long ago. And now there's actually people riding the ride. So this is very real. And that June, that summer opening date is extremely realistic now, which I thought was like, man, they're really being optimistic about this opening, but it looks like they're going to make it happen.
Yeah, so what's interesting about these previews, these team member previews for Epic Universe, what's interesting about them is that they haven't shown too much of Ministry of Magic in these previews, and the ride inside of the Ministry of Magic has actually not been open for the previews yet, as well as some of the shows involved. And now, obviously, these are previews, so they're rolling things out slowly. They're showing some of the park, not all of it. But from what I've read, the reasoning behind the Ministry of Magic ride not being fully open yet, even for previews, is that it's taking some time to really, get out those kinks and get everything working perfectly. Which I love that they're really dedicating that time, because they want, come May, come June, they want everybody to be able to show up and have everything working perfectly. So these previews are your opportunity to do them. And, from what I've heard, the Ministry of Magic ride is one of the most advanced attractions ever created at any theme park ever.
Yeah.
So with that being said, they're like, okay, well, we gotta take some more time getting this worked out. But the fact that so many of these attractions have already been working really smoothly during the previews is a heck of a good sign that, like you said, come May 22nd, when the park actually opens to the public, things are actually going to be running smoothly. That's a great sign, and it's crazy that we're getting so close.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I would imagine, too, with the Ministry of Magic, that ride is, from what we understand, is extremely dynamic, right? So, but also, by the way, not to say that these other IPs aren't protective of their brand, but especially J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter, that
Yeah.
franchise, they really protect their brand. So I imagine everything has to be like overly scrutinized to make sure that it's right. And
For
rightfully
sure.
so. Rightfully so.
For sure. I mean, when you look at Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, we're talking about two of the most advanced and most gorgeous, well-created theme park lands in existence. And if they're going to open up a third Harry Potter world, they don't want to release anything other than another epic land.
Absolutely.
They're 2 for 2 so far. It would suck to go 2 for 3.
No
I
doubt,
mean,
no doubt. And how do you raise the bar?
Yeah.
And clearly they are. I mean, literally, I think like the elevation of it is taller than the other Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine trying to raise that bar because it's already so good.
I know. And the creatives have been saying that the Ministry of Magic attraction essentially is a perfect cross between Gringotts and Forbidden Journey with far advanced technology.
Wow.
Which sounds incredible, but
Yeah, it
also the queue. I mean, Universal has released images of the queue.
The queue
And
looks unbelievable.
Yeah, the queue inside of the Ministry of Magic attraction literally looks like it's like out of this world. Like we're going to have people who are just going to like hold up the line.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be like, hold on, one more photo.
Right.
And then all of a
Right.
sudden the line could have been 20 minutes and it's 50. But you're fine with it because you also want
Yeah, because you got
photos.
yeah, no doubt. No, I can't wait to see the inside of that. Because obviously, being in media, we understand that like wide angle lenses can make things look larger.
Yeah.
But I do imagine walking into that entrance versus say even Gringotts Bank is very like a whoa moment the first time you walk in there.
For sure.
I'm gonna bet that this one is gonna be even more immersive and large. You're gonna be like, holy
Yeah.
smokes, this is incredible.
Well, they even have a super interactive show that's going inside of the Ministry of Magic that hasn't opened yet for previews. That's apparently super advanced. So it looks like they're not pulling any punches with this land, and I'm just super excited about it because I'm almost more excited the fact that still people haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So when people are going to the previews, they're seeing the other lands. They're not really walking around.
Oh, so the land is entirely not open? Or
Yeah, I think people have seen some glimpses of it. They've walked around, they've seen some of it, but the ride, the shows, a lot of it isn't really open. So
Wow.
it's really, they're not seeing a whole ton of it compared to the other lands. And
Yeah.
I think that's great. That means they're like, hey,
Yeah.
we need to put even more attention into this. We got the clock's running. We got like 80 days here.
I love
know.
it. I love it. And I don't think that it's intentional, but it also still keeps that little bit of, wonder, that
Yeah.
little, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but just like you want to still know that everything isn't really open. There's still more to come here, even for team members.
For sure. But the main thing that we definitely have to talk about is Monsters Unchained.
Okay.
Because anybody who's been following the team member previews so far, anybody who's been, checking Twitter and seeing the first reactions for Epic Universe, everybody's talking about Monsters Unchained. Apparently, this is one of the greatest theme park attractions ever created.
Really?
And what's so incredible about it, people have called it the modern day Haunted Mansion. People have called it, Universal's crown jewel.
Wow.
I've seen trusted people that I trust have been on this attraction and said it's literally one of the greatest theme park rides they've ever been on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
2 people I've spoken to have been on it and have told me straight to my face, like, this is mind-blowing.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Even to put it in the caliber, I mean, Haunted Mansion is legendary, but to even be in that caliber.
Yeah, that's a beloved attraction. I
Yeah.
think when they say it's like the modern day Haunted Mansion, it's Haunted Mansion if it was made in 2025. Like,
Wow.
advanced animatronics, far scarier. People are calling it extremely terrifying. People are saying the queue is mind-blowing. So
Wow.
I think what's crazy about this, and what people are kind of forgetting, is that the Ministry of Magic attraction is supposed to be even better than that. And that one's not even open. So we might have 2 of the greatest rides ever created in the same park. And that's not even counting roller coasters. Neither one of them are roller coasters,
Damn.
really. So,
Holy smokes.
so the hype for Epic Universe has kind of shot through the roof, and a lot of it has to do with Monsters Unchained.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. Also, for your friends to kind of look you in the eye and go, listen, this is not an overhype. This ride is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that gets my excitement going, no doubt.
For sure, man. Like 100%. Like I was looking at, I'll pull up a few of the actual tweets that I read. Shout out to Drew Disney Dude. He's a friend, and he wrote Monsters Unchained. Put out a tweet, and he basically said it's not only the best attraction at Universal Epic Universe, but one of the best attractions ever created. And no, I'm not exaggerating. Universal Creative delivered an experience unlike any other.
Holy smokes.
So yeah, I mean the fact that he basically said he's not going to disclose any specifics, obviously, and out of respect for the teams, but
right.
These animatronics are brought to life like no one's ever seen before. I mean, it's insane. I mean, you're putting in Frankenstein's Manor's catacombs, large-scale physical scenes. It sounds like it's just out of this world, and people are having a hard time even, like, wrapping their head around it. I also saw a bunch of people saying they got, like, emotional because of how amazing it was.
Wow. Interesting. Now, not that people are getting emotional, just like interesting, like, wow. I don't like, it's not that I didn't see that coming. I just didn't know that there was going to get that type of reaction.
Yeah.
Now with this ride, are we wearing goggles? Are we wearing any 3D immersive, or is it really, do you know much about the actual ride itself? I don't want to ruin it for anybody
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going essentially through the Frankenstein Manor. Obviously, the outside of the queue looks like one of the most advanced castles and incredible queues we've ever seen in our life. So you go through the castle, and then you're going on this epic journey. But essentially, you get to experience, this is straight from the Universal Orlando website, by the way, the demonstration of Victoria Frankenstein's, the Bride of Frankenstein's experiments to control monsters goes Ari when Dracula leaves a revolt of enraged monsters, including Wolfman, the Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and more. So it sounds like all these monsters are just coming at us from all angles, and they're pissed off, which sounds cool. I don't believe you're wearing any 3D goggles. I'm pretty sure it's all real in your face. Another review, this comes from Zach Stack on Twitter, says Monsters Unchained makes Forbidden Journey look like a tech demo. Just a truly incredible use of the ride system married with the most state-of-the-art show elements. I can't believe this park with Ministry open because Epic Universe already has its crown jewel.
Holy dude.
Yeah.
That is...
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, the initial reviews of this ride are essentially through the roof, which is both exciting and almost makes me nervous because, like, people's expectations are going to be so high.
Right, that's the thing. You don't want to overhype it. You know, you almost don't want to. But, we could be watching this podcast, 6 months from now and be like, okay, well, the hype was real. So it'll be interesting. Wow. Yeah. I'm definitely excited for it.
Yeah, for sure. And outside of that, I do know that, a lot of people have said amazing things about Isle of Berk. A lot of people are talking about how gorgeous Isle of Berk is, which is phenomenal. Those are the two lands that I'm personally most excited for very different reasons. I think I'm not going to Isle of Berk necessarily for the rides. I think this land's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be fun to just walk around. The music, it's going to be very engaging. The food and like having like an old Viking beer is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And I will say the Hiccups Wing Gliders is getting glowing reviews, the roller coaster. So that's really good news. Obviously, people love Nintendo World. Everybody's saying amazing things about Nintendo World. But another thing that people are constantly talking about, at least out of the initial reviews, is Celestial Park. People are calling the music gorgeous, basically rivaling Islands of Adventure in terms of like that epic music and how gorgeous it is.
Yeah.
The food is very good, and Stardust Racers, people are not shying away from saying how awesome this roller coaster is. It's no joke. I mean, when you have the same creative team who made Velocicoaster, the expectations are going to be high.
No doubt.
But the fact that we actually have a dueling coaster and people are loving it, it's a great sign. I can't wait to ride it. And then probably have a nausea attack and realize that I'm no longer 14 anymore.
No, I hear you. I think what you just said was so on point. It's like you've got too many elements that make sense, right? You've got the people who designed Velocicoaster,
Yep.
And then you're also just a couple miles away from what I thought was one of the coolest dueling coasters of all time, which we've mentioned in the pod before, which was Dueling Dragons.
Yep.
So now you've not only got arguably the best roller coaster, Velocicoaster, you've also got the same team, same area, where you have to live up to the hype of Dueling Dragons.
Yeah.
You put both of those together, I think you get this ride.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we're going to have now multiple very big time coasters at all three of the Universal parks is huge too, because Rip Ride Rocket is getting this retheme. When Rip Ride Rocket goes away in September, and of course we don't know what is replacing it, we do know that apparently the same creative team behind Stardust Racers and Velocicoaster is also working on the new coaster that's replacing Rip Ride.
Wow.
Let's say we get a coaster in that same ballpark. Now you got an S-tier, A-list roller coaster at all three of the major Universal theme parks, and coaster fans from all over the globe will be constantly going here. I mean, it's an exciting time to be a Universal fan. And on that same vein, it almost brings me to the next topic, which I had released a video on our social medias about this, but the COO and president of Universal Orlando Resort basically came out and said, hey, yeah, we're not stopping anytime soon.
Yeah. I hadn't seen that video until you posted it, and I was like, wow, that was a statement and a half.
Yeah.
It's like, we got this coming, but there's more to come.
Yeah.
Like,
she was basically like, Epic Universe is old news.
Yeah.
It's not even released yet.
how wild is that? That shows you these guys are not, they're on their, Universal's on their A game right now.
Absolutely. I think they're really gunning for this all-out theme park war. And again, I've always been in the camp where you can love Disney, love Universal. You don't have to pick sides.
Right.
It's not like
Yeah.
you have to choose or something. Like, you
Right.
know, this isn't like you're at a car lot and you have to pick a car.
Yeah.
Like you can enjoy both
You
of them.
can very much enjoy both, yes.
But regardless, Universal is really making this push to be this week-long destination, which is what Walt Disney World has always been. Now with 11 resorts, now with 3 major theme parks, a major water park, you do have enough to justify a full week-long stay at Universal. So with all that in mind, the fact that the president of Universal Orlando Resort is coming out and basically looking you in the eye and saying, hey, we got about 5,000 other things coming, by the way. We've already planned the new things coming to Epic. They have multiple expansion pads that they've already purchased and have set up at Epic Universe.
Yeah.
They already have new attractions coming to Islands, to Volcano Bay, to Universal. It sounds like we're literally like just like buckle up, basically.
It's pretty much.
Because, geez, I mean, it sounds like 2026, 2027, 2028, we're just going to be like every time we turn around, there's like a new attraction and a new thing.
Right. And I'm so excited to see what they're coming up with. But I also say, again, I just love well-intentioned, well-structured, well-thought-out process.
Yes.
And it's so brilliant how they go about building these rides and building this other park. Of course, build another park, get all the eyes that everybody wants to go do that. While that's happening, let's revamp these 2 parks. I mean, it's just, it makes so much sense. And they're just so great at strategically knowing, you know, what won't build a line or, you know, really inconvenience the consumer. They do their best at doing that. Both parks do, but Universal, especially in this case, is brilliant at that.
Yeah, I think what Universal is doing a great job, to your point, is they are thinking long term. They're thinking, okay, we're obviously going to attract a lot of new people who are coming to Epic Universe. But how do we make sure they don't also forget about our other 2 theme parks and our world-class water park?
Right.
You know, what do we do? Do we add more things? I mean, Islands of Adventure, already in the last 5 years, we got Hagrid's and Velocicoaster. So, you know, when you look at Islands of Adventure, you're like, okay, well, that's already gotten a lot of new things. It's an amazing theme park as it is. But Universal Studios Florida, I will say, I think could use a little bit more love in these next few years. And I think it's going to get it. So we've already found out Rip Ride Rocket is getting this new revamp. We don't know what the new coaster is going to be. We don't know what the theming's going to be. I personally hope for a Back to the Future coaster. But anything over the old properties, I think, would be epic. Either way, I'm gonna ride it. Confirmed, we're gonna be on it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
But there's other lands they can add over there. We've heard about Pokemon. We've heard about Zelda. We've heard about more Harry Potter. We've heard about Jaws and Back to the Future and Ghostbusters and their classic, properties. Now, looking over at Islands of Adventure, we've heard, again, rumors of Zelda and the Lost Continent getting that rethemed. We've heard about, Madagascar and any of their old DreamWorks properties. So the possibilities are really endless here for the other two parks. And I'm actually really curious to see what they announce and what they say. Hey, by the way, don't stop visiting us because all three parks are now going to be among the greatest in the world. Not just this new one over here.
Yeah, no doubt. So. And I think that's what's going to be exciting. You just nailed it. I think those are all the theories, all of our gut instincts of where, different things could go. But again, all subject to, just really a guess. Because even DreamWorks, for example, I think a few years ago, they were thinking that could almost have been a Mario or Nintendo World. And little did we know that it ended up being Epic Universe. But I remember those rumors were spiraling for a little bit and ended up being DreamWorks. So, again, all speculation, but definitely some really cool thoughts and excited to see what they come up with here soon.
Yeah, and honestly, whatever they come up with is probably going to be better than any idea we're floating around.
It's true. It's true. I mean, they got a team of just genius people.
Yeah. I mean, especially because when you think about it, Epic Universe... I remember when they first announced it, I'm thinking about all these lands. Oh my gosh, what are they going to do? What they actually are releasing is so much cooler than I could have hoped for.
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally hitting every single quadrant of the theme park fandom. You got now a world-class land aimed at kids with a property that's made billions of dollars with How to Train Your Dragon. You have classic monsters in the horror genre. You have that entire group of people now can go visit a horror theme park land every single day of the year.
Yep.
People have been screaming for the rooftops for that forever. You have a dueling coaster for your Coasters fans. You have your Nintendo Land, which, by the way, has gotten raving reviews all across the globe. And now one of the biggest gaming properties ever has a massive land. Yeah. I mean, you literally have more Harry Potter, which is one of the biggest franchises of all time. I mean, it's insane. They're hitting every single box all at once. And again, she's already Karen Irwin, the president of Universal, has literally been like, yeah, we got more lands coming to Epic Universe.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy. It's can we walk in first?
Yeah. I love it though.
Actually, don't stop. Yeah. Please do more. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I love that though. I love that energy. I love that. Again, just that's what the idea of all of this is. Not to go off the rails here, but it even reminds me of space exploration. That's why I love it, because you're always looking for what's around the corner, what's new. That's the idea of these theme parks. And again, I just keep giving kudos to Universal, but I think they've really been on the mark with that lately, and I know Disney is too. They got some things coming around the corner, but I think they're even going to double down as well. I think we're going to see a lot of here's what to come, almost like an Apple event every year when they're like, here's a new product. We kind of didn't have that. At least I didn't feel like I had that feeling strongly within the last 5-10 years, but now that feeling is certainly back.
Yeah, I mean, Disney's announced multiple major projects also coming down the pipeline. So we're going to have Disney and Universal all at the exact same time, just dropping new attractions, new lands, new rides, new everything. So extremely exciting times to be a theme park fan, especially if you live near Orlando or you visit Orlando a lot. But on that same vein, I know we've chatted about this as a possibility a little bit in the past, but just so everybody knows, Explore Orlando, this page right here, is a fully licensed and approved Universal travel agency. We are officially booking Universal vacations. So with that being said, definitely reach out to us if you ever need help planning or booking your Universal trip. Our services are 100% free to you. Doesn't cost you anything extra to get our extensive itineraries. Our travel planners are just massive Universal experts and fans. They want to help you get the most out of your vacation. They'll book everything for you. They'll plan everything for you. They'll find the right hotel. They'll reserve dining. They'll put together itineraries. Every little square inch of your trip will be covered. And again, it won't cost you anything extra. That's the beauty of it. So if anybody at all needs help planning or booking your next Universal vacation, definitely head over to our website and you can click on the button that says get a free quote. If you click on that button, it'll take you 2 minutes to fill out the quote form. And then all of a sudden, boom, let us know how many people in your party, when you'd like to visit. And one of our amazing travel agents will reach out to you as soon as possible. Super, happy about this news and excited to be like partnered up and officially approved by Universal.
Yeah.
So yeah, exciting times here for Explore Orlando.
No doubt. No doubt.
All right, guys, we will see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and can't wait to see you on the next one.